Hello, everyone. My name is Phyllis Chibisa. I work in the UAV industry and I'm a digital transformation professional. And I'm here with my friend.
Hi, I'm Innocent Shandebera, a software engineer, and I really do love tech.
Okay, great. So why are we here today?
Well, we're here today to just talk about tech, everything that has been happening in the industry, some of the trends, and how best we can utilize it here in Malawi.
Okay, great. So to get the conversation rolling, just let's have a bit of an icebreaker. What's your favorite digital or tech innovation right now?
Right now, I love generative AI, specifically ChatGPT, and right now there's DeepSeek, but I haven't really gotten to use it. But ChatGPT, I have used it quite some time. It simplifies my work, and yeah, that's basically why I love it.
Okay, great.
What about you? What's your favorite tech or digital innovation right now?
So what I'm actually interested in right now is not necessarily like a gadget or an application, but I'm interested in the entrepreneurship and business side of technology. So I've been looking into how Malawi is working on going digital, how we can provide digital solutions, and specifically how we can address the digital divide. So one thing that I find interesting right now, when I look at the statistics, oh my God, when I look at the statistics is that as of 2024, out of all of the Malawians, only 27.7 Malawians are using the internet.
Really?
Yeah, so 27.7% is only 5.86 million Malawians. And right now there is like 22 million of us.
And you know what the crazy thing is? I've just remembered this screenshot that has been circulating, how we are using the internet. If 27% is using the internet right now, I see that only 37.6% is using it for social media and 31.4% pornography, 20% using it for betting. Education content is at 1.8%, and the rest goes to other things. Oh, YouTube is at 4.4%. So I feel like it's crazy. I mean, it's already 27% of us that is using the internet, and majority of it is going to
Chatting.
Yeah, chatting and pornography and betting.
Yeah, lifestyle content, gossip. What else? What else is happening on social media right now?
Just that.
Wait, but the other thing that people use social media for is selling their stuff. I think a lot of businesses are online on social media. So I think when people say I have an online business, it's usually like I have like an Instagram page or a TikTok page or something.
Well, that's a good thing. But then it's not just these people that are selling stuff or like physical products that can be using the social media. Even professionals like yourself can also be using it just to create your own brand. So your digital products also just consult, because a lot of people that are looking for the things that you're doing. And it's really not just for those that are taking orders or selling things that you can actually using like in a day like that.
I don't know if we're living in a vacuum or if it's something that we're blind to, but I think it's usually people who work in the tech industry or anyone who has experience with digital who knows that there are opportunities that you can use social media or the internet for, apart from social media like Facebook and stuff. I feel like everyone else just knows that the internet is social media.
Well, even on social media, you can find opportunities. But the problem is that the social media actually gives you what you like. It feeds from the content that you are actually liking, with the type of things that you're engaging with.
Yeah.
That is what is going to be coming frequently on your page or on your timelines and stuff. So if you're looking for other opportunities, say if you're a job seeker or something, once you start looking for those things, I think there were some times that people were actually wondering why they would be on, say, on TikTok Whatever, if they just watch one video, they like it, they comment on it. Now you find that you're having a lot of videos after that. They're going to be like the same thing. If it's about soccer, it's going to be giving you everything about football and stuff. If you're watching dancing videos, you're just going to be finding people that are dancing, people that are cooking and stuff like that. So it's basically what you like, what you engage with, that is going to be coming to you. Social media is not bad.
Yeah.
But how you use it is actually what is going to matter in this.
Okay. So, I mean, there are other categories here. The other big one is betting. And then there is such a huge shift when you go from betting to other things like YouTube, Netflix, news, and like educational websites. And I think the interesting thing that I've seen online is how it's easy for other countries to be like, oh, I'm going to create an online course on, I don't know, baking, or like a random thing that everyone else does regular in Malawi. Like, I'm going to create a course and then you put it out there and then you're educating the masses, which I kind of feel like is something that's maybe making the numbers on education this low. But yeah, what do you think about that?
I think we just love vibing. But yeah, the other thing that I would say is affecting the numbers, especially in the education content and other things, the economy. Because for me personally, if you tell me to subscribe for other things, for example, right now I'm saying that I love generative AI, I love ChatGPT, but I'm still using the free version of it. Not that I don't want the premium version, although I know that it's really great, but I cannot afford to do that. So similar with other things, for example, if you want to say you want to subscribe for LinkedIn, you cannot do that because you just either there's no Forex for you to do that, or you just don't have the money.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are just finding like internet bundles, which shout out to Minecraft for giving us like really good bundles.
Yeah.
So social media is really, that's why it could be up there. And then betting, people want to, well, it's gambling. They want to multiply the money.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I think betting needs a episode of its own. Yeah. Yeah. But also I think the other thing that makes internet use kind of like that is because we can't monetize off most of the platforms that we have. You can't monetize off of YouTube, you can monetize off of TikTok or any other platform that other countries have the opportunity to like monetize. So like if I have my TikTok, if I don't know, grow it to the millions, apart from people paying me to make ads or stuff, but like I can't really monetize off of having a TikTok. Yeah.
That's true. I think that's also why we don't have like a lot of creators here in Malawi, because these things like take a lot of time, a lot of effort. And for you to just be posting out there, it's demotivating at some point. And then you see that even if you have like a lot of followers, but then the platforms are not giving you anything for using their platforms the way that is happening out there. And
do you think we're gonna get to a place where content creation is a job in Malawi? Like,
I think we're getting there.
Parents, oh, I'm a content creator.
We're getting there. I know a few people who are actually content creators.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's a lot of work. So
yeah, so I mean, when I look at the screenshots and the numbers, I mean, I see the upsides and the downsides. Like there's opportunity here, but there's also challenges. So, I mean, in as much as I say there's opportunities, like one of the opportunities I see here is if you have this many people on social media, like obviously people have their businesses online. So that's an opportunity. Like you have a market, you can easily reach people. Betting, again, I'm not going to say anything on that. YouTube is very low, but again, this gives like opportunity. Again, like again, let's get back to the content creating. Make your videos, post on YouTube. And the funny thing is, we learn a lot from YouTube. You can learn the most random skill on YouTube, but there's not many Malawian related skills that we're learning on YouTube. I remember the one time I had to Google how to cook nsima because I was showing it to someone from Kenya, and nsima is different from ours. So I was like, let me look for a video so I show you how we do it. And
did you find it?
I did, but it was someone who made like strange. It wasn't like the regular one. So I was looking just for like a basic video.
So again, you did not find Malawian content from there.
Exactly. So like this is like an opportunity, like basic things. Like, I don't know. What's a basic Malawian thing that you can
But I think mostly it's because we don't believe in ourselves. You would find the same thing if for example, I have my YouTube channel where I'm teaching people how to dance. People are not going to be watching me. They would rather watch someone else from somewhere else than me, a fellow Malawian. So that's also one factor. I feel like it's one factor that contributes to this.
To that, yeah. But I don't know. I feel like also the other thing is, I don't like, not necessarily that people won't watch, but maybe people don't know. People don't know that you can make a YouTube video, you can post. Because as I was saying, like, I know some, like another Kenyan content creator, just a regular person, right? They just go about their day making videos about regular things and they post and they have like a very huge following. I don't know, they'll post current affairs, things that are happening in their community, stuff like that. So I don't know, imagine someone from like Chisi or something just posting videos of stuff that's happening in Chisi. It kind of opens you up to know, like, oh, in Chisi, people do these things. Yeah, like, so the opportunity is there.
Yeah.
But
what do you think, how do you think we can change this?
I think we're going to take that again to the digital divide. There's a lot of, there's a lot of opportunities, but I think one of the big ways to get people to use the internet is putting services that they access every day on the internet. So they're kind of maybe like, oh, let me use my phone. I'm going to give an example of, say, Airtel Money. Like, we've come from far. People had to walk a long distance, go to your home village to give someone cash. Now you can send it through Airtel Money. And I think it's kind of that building trust. You can just open up your phone, send someone some money. So I think, like, even what the registration, like company registration, now it's 100% online. So you're forced to do it online. So I don't know, if you're forced to do things online, maybe then you'll be like, hey, if my phone can do this, maybe it can do something else. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, but I think this also poses some challenges. So, like, what do you think are some of the challenges that are?
Okay, so some of the challenges that we have, especially as a content creator yourself, I feel like growing your followers is a challenge.
Yeah.
And we could also think of creating quality content, because I feel like that's also one thing that actually affects your followers or people that are actually following the things that you're talking about. Mm-hmm. If it's not of great quality, then people are not going to come. But there's a challenge for you to know how to get the best quality, or especially when you're talking about videos and stuff. When you're writing, you also have to think of things like you have to have correct spellings, correct data and whatnot. And if we're talking about data as well, we have to think of staying up to date, because you cannot just be talking about things that happened like way years ago. Like, imagine right now we're talking about tech, but we have to be talking about things from 1998, or early 2000s. So it wouldn't work. And same thing with content creation. There are like a lot of trends that are happening. For example, if we talk about TikTok, there are like a lot of challenges. We used to have the Kiki challenge, the things like that. And then imagine if you're bringing that in 2025. it wouldn't really make sense, or people are just going to be looking at you like, what are you doing? What is this? So those are some of the things that are
challenges. Yeah, I mean, for me, one of the biggest challenges that I see could be, I talked about the literacy thing. Like most people don't know how to use the internet or how to use it well. I think one of the challenges here is, I mean, we're talking about all these numbers, but we have to remember that this is only 27.7% of Malawians. So one of the challenges is access. People don't have phones. Let's begin there. And then now we're seeing that the ones who do are using it to chat. So that's one of the biggest challenges that I see. This kind of sounds like a simple thing, but like I was talking to a friend one day who told me that at a time in Rwanda, they were encouraging people who have like 2 phones or 2 laptops to give it to, I don't know, like a government place. So they gave it to people who didn't have it so they can use it and also have access to phones and stuff. So what I'm seeing here, for me, the biggest thing that I see here is access. Most people don't have access to digital tools, like don't have computers. And when we talk about education, most schools don't have computer labs. If people have computer labs, they don't have the internet, they don't have electricity. They might not even have a school building block to put the computers. So there's a lot of stuff that goes into the numbers being this way. And I think because the coming in of the internet and smartphones really started with Facebook and stuff, and now we're creating all these social media platforms. And to be honest, social media is fun.
It is fun.
It is fun. So because we really associate it with a fun thing than we do an educational place, a marketing place, a tool. Like you don't see it as those things.
Yeah,
you
that's
see it
true.
first as this is just going to be fun.
I remember when I was just starting out in tech.
Yeah.
So I do love posting about tech, about my journey, and just basically some of the things that I'm doing. One of my friends back then came to me and then asked me why I keep on talking about tech on my Twitter when I can just be joining the conversation that is happening at the time. For example, if there are gossips or some other things, just bans or whatever. But I would rather go there, talk about tech. So I started this thing just as a note-keeping thingy. So I was just posting stuff for me to remember to go back to and then search for stuff. And then I realized that, there are people that were actually noticing me. So I feel like you said, people just associated it with the fun page, because I think 2 or 3 weeks ago, there was also this same conversation to say, you have to mind what you post on social media, because there are some recruiters or some people that would actually want to work with you. They will ask you to give them links to your social media. Yeah. Now, people were furious. People were mad to say, no, why would you, instead of you looking at my skills, instead of you looking at what I can do to the organization, why do you have to search my social media? Why do you have to see what I post on Twitter? Why do you have to see what I post on Facebook? Now, I think it goes back to what you said, like we're in a vacuum because the world has gone beyond using social media just for vibes. Yeah. Like everyone is using it for better things, opportunities and whatnot. And it's just us who are still crying over things like, why do you have to deny me a role because I was bullying someone on social media? Yeah. So yeah, I think just that.
And I think the gap, I mean, we're trying to close the gap, but when we're trying to close the digital gap, we're bringing in like kind of basic skills to other people. For example, you're teaching people how to use a computer, how to, I don't know, write documents and stuff. And then on the other end, there's people talking about generative AI. So I kind of feel like, I don't know, in as much as you're closing the gap, but by the time they get to even know or how to even use like ChatGPT, all these AI things, you might have a chip in your brain. because you have gone that far. Maybe that's extreme, but like I feel like also there's that the gap is like it's really wide. So I don't really know how like we could like balance closing this gap. Honestly, like how are you teaching someone to to open a computer or to type? And then those jobs, like, when we're in primary, they'll be like, you can be a typist. No one is a typist anymore these days because you can type. Everyone types on their own.
Yeah.
So
I think that's why we can utilize YouTube. There are a lot of videos that will actually tell you how to do stuff. If you don't know a word, you can go on the internet, Google it. You don't know something about ChatGPT, Google it. What is ChatGPT? It goes down to you being curious and how far you want to go in life, really. Because if you are interested in changing your life, I feel like you can always try to find out more about the thing. But then let me talk about the gap that is there. I understand there are there are two sides, those that don't know and those that know a lot.
A lot, yeah.
So there's no that balance. Now I feel like for you to have the balance, but that's also a misconception because like all the types of people that are there. It's just that maybe you're exposed to these people that know a lot and these people that don't know. So how you search through the social media or the platform that you're trying to get the information is going to give you everything or access to what you want. If you search for things that are beginner friendly, you're going to find them.
Beginner friendly stuff, yeah, true.
You're going to find them.
Okay, so we were discussing the challenges. So you spoke about you're most interested in generative AI now. So I think the one thing that most of us know now is ChatGPT, and we saw all the DeepSeek news that was out there. And then right now, like the way you see the landscape and how people utilize ChatGPT, like what's your just like a general idea of how things are going from not only the tech perspective of it, but like from a general user, like a general basic user?
So I do different projects per day. So for example, like I said, I'm a software engineer. I also lead a community of women in tech. And I love content. So all these things I have to find balance for for how I'm going to be interacting with people, for example, in my community, people in other communities, and how I'm going to be coding or when I'm going to be, say, giving content.
Yeah.
So I usually use ChatGPT to help me with that. At first, it was just a tool that was going to, maybe if I don't understand something, I'm going to go there, replacing Wikipedia. But anyways, right now, I found it very useful because I would actually go there, ask it to give me a breakdown of how my day should be looking like, especially if I'm going to have like busy days for my 9 to 5 work. Now, but then I cannot neglect the other engagements that I have. I still have to talk to people. I still have to get to the other things that I have to be doing. So that's where ChatGPT comes in. So the first thing that I did, now there's this, I don't know if it's a stereotype or whatever, but people are actually afraid that they are stealing their data. Or but I don't know. For some reason, I just feed it.
Same.
I just feed it, and I found that after telling it like a lot of things about the things that I'm doing or the projects, I get to have, it's like having an assistant,
Yeah. And it gets better.
It gets better with time. It's like you're teaching it how you want your work to be done, and then it gives you exactly what you want.
Yeah.
It's not doing my job, but it's helping me do my job much better.
Yeah. And I think for me, as you said, like I also have multiple things that I'm working on. So I also do my content, and I'm doing school, and I have my job. So for me, it's not necessarily asking it how I can do my tasks, but most of the times I love to strategize things. I love things to go in like a certain way. So for example, when I'm doing my content, because I remember watching a show on how to host a podcast, for example, right? And one of the skills the person said was to literally use AI. So in as much as people want to be like, oh, I want to be original, I want to this, I want to that, but you have to understand that you're going to get different guests, you're going to talk about different subject matter, and in things that you don't really know much, you read and you know the background information, but it also helps you. How well can I, for example, post a LinkedIn post about this? How well can I ask questions? What are some of the important questions that I can ask? And when it comes to writing for school, I think that's one of the biggest things that people are struggling with, because there's a lot of plagiarism issues that are going around because people are telling ChatGPT to write your entire essay. And when it comes to that, I had read an essay of recent, and luckily, because I'm studying digital transformation, they were like, well, it's kind of ironic if you can't use ChatGPT while you're studying in digital transformation, because then it's like, what are we doing? So luckily, I can reference ChatGPT, but I have to give on backup information to be like, oh, well, ChatGPT says, I don't know, this led to this, but like using this information that I read from this paper, it kind of backs up what ChatGPT is saying. That's one of the ways. And one of the other good ways that I found, like how to use it to write, is to strategize. Is this making sense? How can I reduce the words? How can I increase the words? Or stuff like that. Not necessarily write an essay on how we became human beings and then you let the thing write the entire thing. I think people kind of miss the fact that ChatGPT is
an assistant. Like I said,
Exactly.
the way that I use it is just, it's not me. I cannot just take its work like that and then put it out there. I have to think, I have to work on it, and then it has to assist me on how best to present it. Either that, or maybe I have multiple deadlines, and then I have to think, or I have to strategize on how I should go about these things and then present them much better. So I feel like that's where now a lot of people miss. Like you said, they would go to ChatGPT and say, write this essay for me. You're not supposed to do that. You have to write it yourself, maybe if you are lacking some information, because I feel like a few weeks ago, okay, maybe last week, the other week, 2 weeks ago, I had bad migraines. The whole week I did not do anything. And then, you know how AI news, if you just blink once, you're going to have like a lot of information.
Honestly.
I just went to ChatGPT, and then I asked it to give me all the, not the actual news, but first I asked it to give me the sites where I can find the news that was happening. And then it gave me links. And right now with the new version, it's much better because you can ask it to give you like the links.
Sources,
you can ask it, even giving you a diagram to maybe if from here you have to go there. And then that's what I asked it. Like, give me the links to the news sources that I have to read. And then after that, after reading, I said, okay, summarize it for me. And then I was like, oh, okay, so I understood this. And then if I don't understand something, I go back to it like, hey, I don't understand this. Can you help me with this? And then I feel like that's one way that you could look at it.
Yeah.
But not necessarily giving it everything to say,
To do everything for you.
do this for me. No.
Yeah.
Even a CEO doesn't do that with the employees. He's there to strategize, to think like the big person, and then ask for assistance. You say, like, you go to the marketing officer, like, come up with a marketing plan. And then he will have to take it from there to see, I don't know, maybe deny or accept it. And then it has to, whatever happens. And so, yeah, I feel like that's the same thing that you can be looking at ChatGPT and not. And also, like, there are a lot of people that are actually thinking that it's going to be taking our jobs, especially us that are in tech. That's also not true. It's not true.
Yeah, it's not.
I don't see how ChatGPT is going to take my job, really, but
honestly,
it's making things easier for me. Debugging got better. If I'm writing my code, if I'm developing my systems right now, and then it's not running, I used to go to Stack Overflow. I have to read through Reddit. I have to read through whatever it is that people are talking about. But right now, I'll just ask my ChatGPT. Oh, with Copilot, it's even much better because it's just going to analyze everything and then tell me, oh, what is this now?
But it's judging.
I love the fact that it's not too mean because if you ask someone, they're going to give you the side eye. But ChatGPT is not to do
it's
that.
It's removing the human factor.
Yeah. Okay. So
yeah, and I think also like coming back to the internet use and how education is so low, AI is one thing that it's like an opportunity. There's a lot in how AI can help in learning. It's just kind of unfortunate that we are in the place that we are. But again, there's a lot of opportunity there because I was seeing how in Nigeria, even people who are in just little kids in primary school, like they're in classes where they write national exams, how the results went up. They were using Copilot as well, actually, how the pass rates went up because they were using AI. And it gets us back to that where you're not telling ChatGPT to do everything for you, but it's assisting in how teachers teach and how students study and how they approach their work. So imagine just in Malawi, like a Form 4 class, how the pass rates usually are. It's not that great. But if we used AI, if we used everything, and there's so much opportunity in it, because I personally feel like, for example, if, I don't know, the Ministry of Education decides, oh, well, we have to use AI. There's so many projects that are always, I don't know, donating tablets. They donate all these things. Tell the teachers, this is how you use this. Train them, I don't know, for a week. This is how you use this. This is how you teach the students. And I don't know, you have a pilot project, teach some class and just see how they're performing after that. Probably it's gonna like help the education sector, and there you're killing, I don't know how many birds with one stone, because again, now you're telling people, oh, use the internet, and they're starting it at a young age. So by the time they're growing, they're gonna get better and better.
Yeah. The problem is that here in Malawi, for you to start using a phone, a laptop, you have to be in the university.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's also one challenging factor. And
yes,
when you go to the university, like you said, like a lot of people don't know how to use it for them to like for it to be aiding them in the classes or the lessons. If you tell it to explain to you like a 5-year-old in the context of Malawi, because obviously the project or whatever you're going to be doing has to be in the context of Malawi.
Yeah.
Now it's going to give you be surprised. You actually be wondering, oh, this actually makes sense, and then you start relating because it's true, but then you just did not know it.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you just utilize it, you have to know the prompts, how to ask it, because it gives you exactly what you ask. If you just go there and say, I don't understand how to use a phone, but then you haven't specified which side of the phone, like what kind of phone. Are you talking about a smartphone? Are you talking about the other phones? Are you talking about how to go on the internet on the phone? But then if you detail exactly what you want from it, it's going to give you exactly that too. I feel like there are some people who say generative AI or ChatGPT doesn't give them what they want. I feel like it's just them not knowing how to ask it. Yeah. Because if you come to me and then ask me, how do I go to Blantyre? I will tell you exactly what you should do. Either you go get a bus, a Malawi bus outside so, and then it will get you there. Or you take a plane from Kia and then it will take you there as well. But then if you tell me, I'm looking for something that will manage. I only have 15,000 kwacha, but I want to go to Blantyre. I'll be like, oh, okay. Then the best option that you have is you have to go to Total and then find these small cars.
Yeah.
That's how you're going to get to Blantyre. And then just tell the driver that you're going to Blantyre. He's going to tell you once you get there. And then all these other options, obviously, they are not going to be of use to you. So I'm not going to give you because... Yeah. So it's the same thing. If you ask ChatGPT a broader question, it's also going to give you something which is broad.
Yeah.
But then if you're going to be specific, it's also going to give you exactly what you want. So, yeah.
Yeah. So Anyway, there's a lot to unpack here when it comes to ChatGPT, when it comes to AI, when it comes to tech opportunities, challenges, and everything when it comes to tech in Malawi. So we're just going to wrap this up. But before we finish, I'm just going to ask you, like, what's the one thing you're very excited about and that you're looking forward to when it comes to tech in Malawi?
Right now, what I'm looking forward to seeing, I feel like there are like a lot of people are discovering tech, and that's beautiful to see.
Yeah.
There are a lot of opportunities and taps opportunities, and people are discovering them. It's beautiful to see, like I already mentioned. And yeah, I'm excited for it. I'm here for it. And this AI, I'm just looking forward to seeing what it's going to do was like here in Malawi.
Okay, I think for me, the one thing that I'm excited about is seeing how tech entrepreneurs are going to grow. The one thing that I really hope to see is to see a product that's not only for Malawi, but something that we can sell, for example, to all these other countries in the southern part of Africa, and something that can be Malawian, like original Malawian, and benefit not just us. So that's the one thing that I'm very excited about. So yeah, that's it from us. And until next time, goodbye.
Bye.